Hello Leo, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer with over 40 years experience in the business and over 30,000 clients worldwide. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this reading of your horoscope for 2014 from a spiritual perspective. Now if your sun sign is Leo, and that's why you're watching this one, it's much more preferable if you know your rising sign, because this is a spiritual reading and your rising sign or your ascendant will be much more applicable for this particular reading. So if you know your time of birth within a half an hour of accuracy, submit your birth details through my website and I'll be happy to do your horoscope chart for you, Leo, and send it to you so that you can then watch the video that's applicable for your rising sign and not just your sun sign. Now what I'll be focusing on in this reading for you is to look at your horoscope from the point of view of the movements of planets in 2014 so that I can help you to understand what's going on in your life spiritually, but also from the mundane events and conditions in your life as well, with a view to helping you to understand more about yourself. To know yourself is a very powerful force and a very powerful need. And so the science of astrology can help you to understand more about yourself. And I'll be looking at the location of the signs on each of the 12 houses of your horoscope. You've got your rising sign, which is the sign on the eastern horizon at the time of your first breath. And that sign is individual to you and you alone, and to others who have the same rising sign as you. If we don't know your rising sign, then we use the sun as the cusp of the first house, and it's equally as accurate. But it's preferable if you can have your ascendant and be working on looking at the video that is applicable for your rising sign or your ascendant. Now what I'm going to be doing for you is telling you the various impacts of the signs on the cusps of your houses. Astrology is the most scientific presentation of hidden truth in the world today, because it deals with you and your life and the events and conditions in your life. Now it's important to understand that you are creating all of the events of your life. There's no such thing as karma that's imposed upon you, and therefore you must break a leg because you forced someone in a last life to break their leg or something like that. Or all of these things that are imposed upon you because you've been a bad person in your past life. You are experiencing all of these events and conditions because of your raw materials. These are your attitudes and your beliefs, your thoughts and your feelings, and the decisions and choices that those attitudes and beliefs and thoughts and feelings engender from within yourself. Now, each of us are living our lives through the events and conditions of our life and experiencing our consciousness through those events and conditions in our life. And these events and conditions in our life all belong somewhere in one of the 12 segments of your horoscope called houses. So as having your rising sign on the cusp of your first house, there'll be the next sign following on from that is going to be in the cusp of the second house, and then the next sign will be on the cusp of the third house, and so forth all the way through the 12 segments of your horoscope called houses. And each of the events of your life fit into one of these 12 houses. But more importantly than that, you are experimenting and experiencing and expressing your consciousness through these houses, and in that process you are gaining experience and you are gaining knowledge, and you are turning that knowledge into wisdom. Now the most important thing about my reading that I'm going to be doing for you here is that I'm going to be telling you what are the needs that you are fulfilling through these houses of your horoscope, because each of the 12 houses, you are fulfilling certain needs in life through the events and conditions of that house. The first house, for example, is your need to have impact. You need to commence and start projects and ideas so that you can have impact in the world and feel a sense of power. The second house is the house to do with your sense of security and fulfilling your security needs, not just your financial security, but also your physical health security and your emotional security, your mental security, and your spiritual security in life. So through that house, you're fulfilling your security needs. Through the third house, you are fulfilling your needs to communicate. And that is the house where you are dealing with those who are close to you, like relatives and neighbours. The fourth house is where you are fulfilling your belonging needs, to belong to a home environment and a family unit, and to those who cohabitate with you in the home, sharing that family sense of belonging there. So you are fulfilling your belonging needs. The fifth house is where you are fulfilling your need to love. We all need to love, and we all need to have fun. And so entertainments and amusements fit into there. Romance and love fits into there. And sexual activities, sporting activities, restaurants and places of amusement, and children. The greatest capacity for us to express our love is through our offspring. The sixth house is the house where we are fulfilling our service needs. We all need to be having meaningful work. So work belongs in that arena of the sixth house. Meaningful work is very important for you regarding health. So we need to be able to be of useful service in the community through meaningful employment, and that fits into that category of maintaining good health through right diet and exercise. The seventh house is the house fulfilling our needs to have a mate, to have somebody in our life who is an intimate, someone that we can get to know, and to be known in return. To be known is very, very important, and to know someone is a very important need that needs to be fulfilled in life. The eighth house fulfills our need for change. We're all the time reflecting and thinking upon aspects of our nature that we know that we should transcend. And so fulfilling that need for change. The ninth house is the house where we fulfill our need for expansion. And we do that through adult education, through study, research and investigation, through philosophy, religious pursuits, and also travel. The 10th house is where we are fulfilling our esteeming needs. We all have a need to be well thought of in the community and to aspire to the heights of success in whatever our chosen field is, and that brings in the career and business. The 11th house is where we are fulfilling our need for friendship and group activities. We all have the need to have friendships and to have group activities in our life. We are ultimately all working towards group consciousness. And so group activities and club activities all fit into that category. The 12th house is where we are fulfilling our needs for solitude. We all need to have that time, quiet time to ourselves, where we can reflect and think upon ourselves and aspire towards being more of who we really are and aspire towards the divine. And many times we do this the wrong way. We do it through crisis and internment in hospitals and institutions. And we force ourselves to have that solitude. We force ourselves to reflect upon moral and principles and values and so forth, and to develop our character and to aspire towards the divine. make no mistake about it, you are in a spiritual classroom. All of us are in a spiritual classroom. Whether you believe in God and believe in Goddess is immaterial. The fact of the matter is that they have created everything that's in our lives. They have created everything that's in the universe. And without them, you wouldn't be here in life. Science poo-poos higher beings, and science poo-poos a designer in the universe, but the evidence of design in the universe is just so overwhelming that you must let it in that there is that God and Goddess, that ultimate being who's there to help us and to guide us. And so this is the objective and the purpose of my work, is to help you to be a believer in God and Goddess. A believer in the fact that they have set it up in a way that allows you and gives you the power to create your own reality. You are creating all of the events of your life. No one is doing it to you. So if you've got pain in your life, you've got to look at your raw materials. You've got to look at your attitudes and your beliefs and your thoughts and your feelings. It's easy to think that no one knows my thoughts and no one knows my feelings, but everything is recorded by yourself, by the higher aspects of yourself, your subconscious mind and your unconscious mind. And so rather than creating all of the events of your life through your subconscious mind and your unconscious mind, you're better off to do it consciously. And so this is what the objective of my intensives are all about, is to help you to understand the laws that we live within in this space-time rule set that we call Earth, this spiritual classroom that we call Earth. And we've all made mistakes. We need to draw upon courage. Courage is the willingness to act, even though you don't have all the answers, and even though some of the answers that you do have are wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. We all do it. And so the idea is to rise above those mistakes from here on, and to start changing those attitudes and beliefs and those thoughts and those feelings that are there in your subconscious mind, thoughts that you don't deserve love, thoughts and feelings and attitudes and beliefs that you're no good, that life is a financial struggle for you, that you'll never amount to anything, that relationships don't work out for you, that you're not lovable, and self-pity and fear and self-sabotage and anxiety and doubt and insecurity. Look, we've all got these things inside of ourselves. And this is what we're in this level of consciousness to do, is to transcend all of those negative aspects of ourselves. And so you sit back and relax now and enjoy the journey here, and I'll take you through a journey for 2014 and tell you what sort of impacts that you're going to be experiencing and which way that you are going to be developing those principles and values within yourself in order to fulfill your needs. Now Leo, you fulfill your needs in life to have impact in the world through your sunny disposition and through the social side of your life. And you've got a take charge attitude in life, and you've got a tremendous amount of leadership qualities. You've either got the sun in Leo or you've got the rising sign in Leo to be watching this video. And so you are a person of power. You are a person who has the capacity to take control of a certain situation in life, and through your sunny disposition to be able to accommodate all the needs of those who are tied up in your world of activity and self-initiated efforts. And you have a great time integrating all of those personal self-initiated efforts into your social life. You've got a fixed disposition. Leo is a fixed sign. So you don't like many changes in life, Leo. Now, as far as your security needs are concerned, you've got Virgo on the cusp of your second house of finances. And so that means that you're very meticulous and careful with your money. You like to budget wisely, and you like to keep all the account details and everything like that to do with expenditures and everything in close check. You're very practical and down to earth, but there's many fluctuating circumstances financially. By the same token, Leo, you fulfill your needs for security in life through the job and employment, and also by keeping yourself in good condition. You like exercise and you like to control your diet, and through that activity of being in control of your diet and looking after yourself with regard to right food and right exercise and that sort of thing, you get your sense of security from that activity. You also get your sense of security in life physically, emotionally and mentally through being of service to other people. Now, as far as your communication needs and fulfilling your communication needs in life, Leo, you've got Libra on the cusp of your third house. So your partner will play a prominent part in terms of your communication. And music plays a very important part in your life too. You like listening to music while you're driving in the car. And you like a good conversation, especially with your partner. And you like a lot of social activities connected with relatives and neighbours and that sort of thing. So your communication needs are fulfilled through social activities with relatives and neighbours and those close by, and also in terms of getting close to your partner and your spouse and getting to know them and having them get to know you. So you fulfill your communication needs through getting out and about on the social side of life, into restaurants and places of amusement, and you love mixing with the general public too, and you're not one to shy away from a conversation with a stranger. Now, as far as your belonging needs are concerned, Leo, you've got Scorpio on the cusp of your fourth house of the home and the family and the domestic side of life. So the home environment is a place you don't like many changes. As far as the home is concerned, you like stability in the home and to do with the family. You don't like a great deal of changes in residence. You live near the water at some time in your life. You could also live near a cemetery or a river at some time in your life. You also have a sense of belonging in the family unit because of intrigue and mystery connected with other family members. So there's a lot of secrets and things to do with the family unit that you have to keep to yourself and that they entrust you with. And so that gives a bond of secrecy there that makes you feel part of the family and part of the belonging needs fulfilled there. Now, you've got a very powerful thing happening, Leo, through the whole of 2014. You've got Saturn in the fourth house of your horoscope. Saturn in the fourth house of your horoscope is not good for changes in residence. You'll find that any plans for change in residence will be obstructed or delayed during 2014. And there can be illness or death of a parent or an elderly family member during this time. And there's a lot of work around the home. You are being called upon with regard to the home and the administration of matters relating to the family and those who cohabitate with you in the home to keep the place clean, to allocate chores, to run the home from a practical point of view, and you must do so according to the law of economy. So not too much expenditure beyond your needs as far as the home and the family side of life is concerned, and you'll get by in 2014 with without a great deal of difficulty, Leo. Now Mars is the ruler of your 4th house, Leo, having a Scorpio on the cusp of your 4th house. And so therefore you're going to find that from the 2nd of March to the 20th of May, a period when Mars is in a retrograde motion, you'll find that things to do with family and domestic matters and property matters and your sense of belonging is going to be thrown into a bit of insecurity there. So you'll find that things that you've been waiting to come to a conclusion are rather drawn out. There's stresses and tensions enter into the family unit that you really could do without during that time from the 2nd of March to the 20th of May. After that time, things should go pretty smoothly for you for the balance of the year to do with family matters. Now on the cusp of your 5th house, where you are fulfilling your needs for fun, Leo, and fulfilling your needs to be able to express your love nature, you've got the fiery sign Sagittarius on the cusp there. That means that you are involved in sports. You're probably going for horse racing and things like that, and any sort of sports, vigorous sports. You also love to go out among the beauties of nature, the mountains and the trees, and the spirit of nature is very, very important to you as a form of recreation and as a form of having fun. So you love all sorts of spectator sports as well. Leo, you love getting out to restaurants and places of amusement and mixing with people. There's a lot of people from overseas that seem to find their way into your social life. Children could live distantly from you at some time in life, and you could travel overseas with children as well. So there's a tremendous amount of activity there and plenty of opportunity through the children's education as well to express your love nature and helping them with their homework and getting stuck into the fun side of things with their sporting interests and recreational interests as well. Now Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and Jupiter is in an apparent backward motion, in a retrograde motion, in other words, from the early part of January, the beginning of January, right the way through to the 7th of March. Now during that time, Leo, you're going to find that things are going to be a little bit scattered as far as your capacity to express your love nature and to have fun. There's just going to be a few niggling worries about children, or worries about romance and love, or worries about the social side of your life in some way that just seems to interfere with that smooth passage of the expression of your love, Leo. And then that retrograde cycle kicks in again on the 9th of December. So from the 9th of December through Christmas and into the new year, you'll also experience a little bit of difficulty with regard to things not going so smoothly in the social side of your life and to do with love and relationships and romance and that sort of thing too. Now on the cusp of your 6th house, Leo, you've got the sign Capricorn, and that's where you are fulfilling your service needs, is through the 6th house. And with Capricorn on the cusp there's a government job for you, or a position in administration, or a position of leadership and authority. There's a sense of frustration for you connected with the job, and also a sense of frustration in life for you connected with exercise and diet and stuff like that. So that your sense of being able to be of service to yourself in terms of right diet and exercise and service to people through your work and that sort of thing seems to be obstructed and delayed, and it's a little bit harder for you, and there seems to be a few obstacles in your way in terms of the job, with people that you work with. You have some unhappiness through people that you work with, difficulties with regard to employment, sometimes periods of unemployment and things like that, difficulties where you're perhaps not happy in the job, and you just feel as if you don't have a capacity to express your service fully as you would like to, with Capricorn on the cusp there, Leo. Now Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, and Saturn is in a apparent backward motion, in a retrograde motion, Leo, from the 3rd of March to the 21st of July. So that's a prolonged period, and during that time there'll be a few frustrations with regard to employment, difficulties with regard to plans with people that you work with, and frustrations and unhappiness somehow connected with your health or to do with exercise and diet. You'll just experience things not going so smoothly as what you like them to during that time. Now on the cusp of your 7th house, Leo, you've got the sign Aquarius, and you are fulfilling your needs to have a mate, and also fulfilling your needs to have someone to know and be intimate with, and to know you in return. And with the sign Aquarius on the cusp there of your 7th house, Leo, you can expect the unexpected. You can have the sudden formation of attachments, sudden breakups of attachments. You can have unusual relationships, perhaps relationships that are interracial. You can have relationships where you don't bother getting married, or relationships that are frowned upon by the community, perhaps a gay relationship if you're that way inclined. There can be a lot of unusual experiences in your dealings with partners and those that are close to you in terms of spouse or partner in life. Now Uranus, Leo, is the ruler of your 7th house, and it is in a retrograde motion for a prolonged period from the 23rd of July to the 22nd of December. So during the latter half of the year of 2014, you're going to find that there'll be quite a few unusual circumstances in life. You can expect the unexpected in terms of relationships. You'll find that things just won't go as smoothly for your partner and yourself in terms of joint activities and things like that. You can expect the unexpected and potential for a crisis there sometime in that period in 2014, Leo. Now the 8th house is the house where you are fulfilling your needs for change through introspection and reflection, Leo, and you've got Pisces on the cusp there of your 8th house. So you can expect that there's going to be a lot of insecurities in life focusing through joint finances. Strange circumstances connected with joint finances, strange circumstances connected with wills or legacies or anything like that, and also taxation matters. You can end up with some trouble with the taxation department at some time in your life, and difficulties at times and secret worries about sexual matters as well. So there's a tremendous need for change, and you do need to have a lot of solitude and opportunities for introspection and reflection there, and you'll find that you'll be very, very secretive in some ways to do with your sexual nature. You can get embroiled in secret relationships and have guilt complexes and fears and anxieties about being found out and all that sort of thing. So there's a lot of things there connected with the 8th house which make it quite a spicy arena for you, Leo. Now the 9th house is where you are fulfilling your needs, Leo, for expansion and adult education and fulfillment of interests in philosophy and religious matters and things like that. And you've got Aries on the cusp there of your 9th house. So with those Arian energies there, you can expect to have quite a few arguments and conflicts with people because of your forceful ideas about spiritual matters or religious or philosophical matters. So you can experience quite a fair bit of tension focusing through in-laws. You can experience quite a lot of potential for conflicts and difficulties whilst travelling, perhaps overseas or something like that. There could be an accident involved or something of that nature. And you've got a lot of stress there and potential for stress and problems in life, focusing through conflicts with people about religious affairs. Now, during the whole of 2014, Leo, you've got Uranus stationary there in your 9th house. So you are undergoing a radical transformation and change in 2014 with regard to your religious beliefs and your spiritual beliefs and your philosophical beliefs. You'll be attracted towards the unusual and the innovative and the inventive. And so you can expect to become more and more interested in things like astrology, meditation, reincarnation and New Age philosophy, Leo, during 2014 with that sort of a placement. But it does depend on how willing a student that you are as well, because you can expect perhaps a crisis to precipitate you into New Age philosophy and understanding if you don't get it all together and start researching and investigating and signing up for adult education yourself under your own steam, Leo. You can expect the unexpected with any travel overseas, and you can expect the unexpected involving relatives on your spouse's side as well throughout 2014. Now, on the cusp of your 10th house, you've got the sign Taurus. And Taurus is a fixed sign. So you don't like many changes with regard to career or business. You'll find yourself involved in working with furnishings or material things, goods and services, and also handling money in the career somehow. Handling money, finances and accounts. There'll be a lot of social involvements for you, Leo, connected with the career or business. And you've got a very scientific mind when it comes to working out business strategies and plans and things like that too. You are fulfilling your esteeming needs there through that Taurian influence of wanting stability with regard to your financial pursuits and plans, and a love of nature as well, there with the things of the earth, the mountains and the trees and that sort of thing. So you get a sense of aspiration towards the divine through that sort of activity, getting out among nature and that type of thing. Now, on the cusp of your 11th house, Leo, you've got Gemini, which is a very adaptable and variable sign. So there's going to be a lot of experiences in life. You are fulfilling your needs to belong to a group there in the 11th house. And you are finding that there'll be a lot of group social activities with relatives and neighbours, a lot of changing and fluctuating circumstances in life connected with friendships. So you can expect friendships to be formed, a lot of changing circumstances to do with friendships with people in your neighbourhood, and there could be twins in your friends. There can be a lot of changing in relationships and friendships that are very fluctuating and not constant, not consistent. There's a variety of club activities that you find yourself involved in. And the final house, Leo, is the 12th house, where you are fulfilling your needs for solitude. And you've got Cancer on the cusp there of your 12th house. So Cancer is a very family-oriented sign, and it's oriented towards the domestic side of life, and so you find plenty of opportunity to have solitude around the home, and you like to have periods you demand your solitude in the home, so you like to get into your own room or whatever and lay down and have a meditation or whatever, and just to fulfill that need for solitude. And there's a lot of secret worries there with that sort of a placement to do with family matters. family matters and domestic matters. There can be worries about parents, worries about family members, hospitalisations, drug addictions and alcohol problems and things like that connected with family members there as well that can project you into solitude. Now you've got Jupiter there in the 12th house of your horoscope, Leo, all the way through the whole of 2014, and that's a beautiful thing to have. What it means is that you will benefit greatly through periods of solitude, and you'll have plenty of opportunity in 2014 for curling up with a good book and getting stuck into my intensives, becoming more of who you really are through study, research and investigation of the spiritual and mystical side of life, and you'll have plenty of opportunity to develop that closeness and tenderness and connection there with the divine. Well, now that you've been exposed to what I've told you about the events and conditions that you'll be experiencing in 2014, where do you go from here? Well, it's very, very important for you to understand that just because you don't have all the answers, it doesn't mean that other people don't. And so I've written 2 books. What Really Matters is a book about astrology, meditation and reincarnation. And I've taken all of that material out of that book and put it into 12 CDs. And I'm happy to send you those 12 CDs free of charge. So what you do from here on is subscribe to my website, subscribe to my videos through YouTube, so that every new video that I bring out will be sent to you. And I'll be doing 100 videos or so in 2014 for your benefit on all aspects of spiritual growth, to help you become more of the giant that you truly are. My other book is called Coming Home, An Eternal Journey, and that one goes into things a lot more deeply about the larger plan and quantum physics and the holographic nature of reality and all sorts of other stuff that we won't bother with here. So what I want to help you to do is to be more successful in your life, to be able to consciously create the events and conditions in your life. You have that power. Make no mistake about it. You have that power inside of yourself to create all of the events and conditions in your life by conscious choice instead of subconscious choice as you're doing now. So submit your birth details, even if you've watched videos of mine in the past. Submit your birth details so that I can send you your chart together with those 12 CDs out of my first book on astrology, meditation and reincarnation. And also I'll send you other stuff too, all the links to all of my videos and everything. So this is all free of charge to help you become more of who you really are. But you then have the option of taking horoscope number 2. Horoscope number 2, look, what I'm telling you here in this particular reading that you've just been watching is I'm only telling you a very small amount of the things to do with your ascendant and the signs on the cusp of each of your 12 houses and the movements of the planets through your houses in 2014. But there's so much more there that's in your individual horoscope that I can't touch on, because I don't have your personal horoscope. There won't be another person born with the same horoscope as you for another 25,000 years. So you've got the moon is in a certain house and a certain sign and forming certain aspects with other planets in your horoscope. And that means something to you. You've got Mercury, which is your communication skills and your mentality. And that's in somewhere in one of those 12 houses. And that's in aspect with other planets and so forth. And that has meaning. You've got Venus, which is your love nature. And that is sitting somewhere in one of the houses of your horoscope. and Mars is sitting in one of the houses of your horoscope. All of these things have meaning. They have aspects with each other, with other planets and so forth. So this all has meaning. Jupiter is a major beneficial influence in your life. Where have you got Jupiter sitting in your horoscope, which is the main area that you can find happiness and joy and wonder and expansion in your life? Saturn is sitting somewhere in your horoscope, so there's a lot of tests there involved with Saturn. And Uranus and Neptune, all these planets have impact, and they're all sitting in different houses of your horoscope, and they're all forming aspects and relationships with each other that make you unique and different from everybody else. So I want to interpret your horoscope for you. So in horoscope number 2, I'll do that for you. It's a 20-page printout on you and you alone, and all to do with your personal planets and your houses and signs and aspect and so forth. And then to have horoscope number 3 is my voice with beautiful relaxing backing music to tell you all about the intimate side of your life and where your tests lie and what's going on in the immediate past, so you can say, yes, he knows what he's talking about. And then I'll go into the immediate future, 5 years or so for you, and tell you what's coming up. This helps you to have a map to know where you're going in life. So I thank you for your attentiveness here and look forward to working further with you should you get involved in my intensives and should you have your horoscope done by me. Thank you.